Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another Tuesday show, whatever we're doing on Tuesday. How we doing out there, chat? Hold on one second. Sorry about that. Had to clear my throat a little bit. Allergies have been kicking my ass. How's everyone doing out there? Ahoy, hoy, Sanu. What's going on? Always lost. It's been a while indeed. How are you? It is Tuesday, Livy. That's true. That is very true. See, I am under no obligation for Livy to keep her wrench over here. And there's no one here to tell me I can't take it. Is Drunkle okay? Yeah, he just wasn't feeling good. Yeah, oh, fuck. All right, there we go. Oh, okay, then we got two people here yelling at me. All right, fine. Fine, she can keep it, I guess. That's fine. Stop taking the wrenches. I'm getting texts now. I'll get your ass about it. You'll get a whole lot of nothing. So, I want to cover this. Sorry about the lateness. I've been having a hell of a time with this computer. I don't know what's going on. It's newer than my computer at home. It's better by all accounts, but I'm still getting insanely bad graphics lag for no reason. Like Windows Desktop Manager, WMI Provider Host take up 50% of my 96 gigs of RAM in my GPU. So I don't know what the fuck to do with it. I might just do a completely clean install of Windows, but that's going to have to be when I have time to completely remake OBS. It is driving me insane. But anyway, I want to cover this. I saw a bunch of people talking about it on Twitter. We talked about it a little bit on the Sunday show. And I think that, we'll just get into it. So, before we even got started, M4 Sherman, the loads. Shelley is a religious figure in the house of yikes. We worship her mercy toward us plebeians. M4 Sherman, what's up, Saul? What up, all? Blah, blah, blah. What up, all, and sin? Just got out of the hospital yesterday for what docs think is a possible stroke. Possible stroke symptoms induced by stress and anxiety, being dehydrated. It was all fun talk. It was a fun talk with the store manager since I left my shift early on Sunday. Sheesh, dude. Yeah, that's what they thought my stroke was before they figured out it was an actual stroke. But hearts in the chat for M4. God bless, dude. That sucks. That super sucks. But we're gonna get into it. Not too much banter, blah blah blah, going on. Very busy. I got a side gig this weekend, so I've been prepping for that. So everyone, please smash that like button, share it out on your social media, should you feel so inclined. Streamlabs is listed down below, and we have two new donations. One at, I believe, $8, and another one at $25.02. But you're only allowed to hit the $25.02 if Miss Sin is in chat. Actually, maybe I should save that one for tomorrow. You know what? I think I will. I think I'll save that for tomorrow. Hold on. Yeah, because that one, that's a good. That is a good Shelly donation. She'll love that one. Let me disable that real quick. Hold on, please. Oh, please. Save settings. Okay. $8 is the new one. I don't know what the hearts are for. It's for M4 Sherman. And I have really been enjoying the Ghost of Tsushima if and when I have time to play. But we're going to look at two videos. I found a straight re-upload of his content, but we're going to look at, this was sent to me earlier today by John GAWD. It's a short synopsis of what happened. I linked it in the top of the chat. So if you guys want to give that a watch, it's right over there. And let's get to the liking, the sharing, Streamlabs, blah, 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 blah. And you'll understand the stream goal here in just a moment.
substantial proof on if this is true or not, but I've seen several comments saying this, so online it is at least culturally believed to be true.
And yeah, naturally, I mean, if I see comments online, it must be true. So what is everyone going to do? Immediately what you think they're going to do.
So today's video is going to be very special to me. It is a combination of my two interests, horror and internet drama. I know I'm a bit late to this part.
Jesus Christ. Audible, what the fuck are you doing? I signed up for the 3-month thing for half off this morning, and I just got, and it doesn't matter.
But unfortunately, that's what happens when you do YouTube part-time. The silver lining, though, is that I don't have to make multiple videos. I can just make one instead of trying to keep up with this guy's public meltdown. For those of you who don't know, there is a horror retrospective channel called In Praise of Shadows that recently published.
And this dude, the fucking the whining and the bullshittery from this, goddamn wrong button, is hilarious.
A video about bad conservative horror movies, but that's not what this video is about at all. Like, at all. The first 24 minutes is about him seething over the fact that Kevin Spacey was a guest speaker at a horror convention. The following 34 minutes is about him coping over the fact that people didn't agree with his Hills Have Eyes review. In this segment, we actually learn a lot about his true intentions and why he made this video in the first place. But then
his Hills Have Eye review was basically I watched a different video that Miss Sin sent me. His Hills Have Eyes review was basically they were defending their land.
Finally get to a title card that says bad conservative horror movies, and you think maybe that's what he's going to talk about, but instead, for the next hour and 45 minutes, he just goes over why horror is exclusively made for liberals and that conservatives making horror movies is a bad thing. Not necessarily that conservative horror movies are bad, but they are only bad in the fact that conservatives are the ones who made them. That is seriously what it is.
I'm not gonna lie, when I saw the video title, I thought he was gonna talk about like Daily Wire horror movies or something.
Right, that's what.
The Daily Wire movies are pretty trash, though, aren't they? I've not seen one of them, but I've heard stuff, and I've heard they're not really that good.
What I expected to.
I was very shocked.
Yeah, it's not at all what it is. Then he ends the video with a 35-minute smear campaign of Wendigoon and anyone who is ever associated with him in any way, labeling him and all of his friends like Turkey Tom, Brandon Buckingham, and many others.
I love Brandon Buckingham.
As far-right gun fascist YouTubers. Spoiler alert, they aren't. But before we get into all of that, I'm going to give you guys the brief history of the In Praise of Shadows and the Wendigoon channels so you can kind of see the contrast between the two of them. Zane Whitener founded the In Praise of Shadows channel on July 3rd, 2018, and as a
Southern Gothic, why don't you have a wrench? That's a good question.
amassed close to 400,000 subscribers in that time. In Praise of Shadows is a horror-themed YouTube
Who else watched the 5-hour dissertation of Blood Meridian? I did. That was good. I really like that.
YouTube channel where Zane gives his opinions on the history of horror media, everything from novels to children's cartoons. I heard of this channel about 3 years ago now when I came across his video, The Nightmare Artist, which was a mini documentary on the artist Zdzislaw Bekinski. This video is now his most popular video, gaining a whopping 8.7 million views.
Jeez.
I actually used to be a big fan of Zane and the In Praise of Shadows channel. I thoroughly enjoyed his Anatomy of a Franchise series, so much so that I'd actually download multiple videos at a time anytime I'd go on a business trip and listen to them while on the flights. I knew this guy was left-wing based off of many of his takes on Terrifier and H.P. Lovecraft, but that didn't bother me, not in the slightest. I don't mind hearing
Because most people are adults and can enjoy stuff.
different perspectives on art. I think most people would agree that hearing different perspectives deepen our understanding of that art, whether we agree with those perspectives or not. However, Zane does not think like this, and we will be getting into all of that here in a second. But first, I gotta give you the backstory of the Wendigoon channel. Isaiah Mark Nichols founded the Wendigoon channel on July 19th, 2019, a little over a year after the In Praise of Shadows channel was started. The Wendigoon channel currently sits at 3.6 million subscribers, which is 9 times more than the In Praise of Shadow channel. Yeah, Wendigoon has 9 times more subscribers than In Praise of Shadows.
It's rough. That's why he's mad.
That's why he's mad.
That is definitely why he's mad.
The most popular video on the Wendigoon channel is The Monsters Beneath Us, which is his commentary video on the popular analog horror series, The Monument Mythos. There are a few things we learn about Zane in this video that I'm pretty sure he
No Tucker clips this week.
didn't intend for us to pick up on. For starters, he's
Thought we'd do something different, something a little more topical, something on YouTube. I got to figure out another thing to do over here on YouTube, because doing one stream a week it's not good for channel growth. I want to start making regular videos. Hopefully after this week or next week, I should have the time to sit down and start doing content. But yeah.
He's extremely sensitive. As stated, he spends 34 minutes of this video coping about the public's response to his Hills Have Eyes video.
Hey, you guys could hear that? I got yelled at. I was told to trim my beard up because I was turned into a bushman.
Where he says that the week following its release was the worst week of his life.
I'd like to talk to you about the worst week of my life. So, January of 2022.
He does look like a diddler, doesn't he?
Okay? I made a video about the Hills Have Eyes that went very badly.
Let me just say, if people calling you mean words on the internet due to a video release is the worst week of your life, you've had a pretty easy life. Because he equates this video as being the sole reason why his channel has been
I wanted to grow my beard out big, but I got yelled at.
decreasing in views over the last 2 years.
For transparency, this is a graph of my total lifetime views on my channel, and this is the point where I posted The Hills Have Eyes. There is a clear delineation before and after me making that, and at least from my perspective, I'm not really sure if that response was entirely fair or justified.
As a former fan of this guy, I can assure you that no one gave a shit, no one cared. I can promise you that, no one cared. Even the people who didn't agree with his take on this video didn't care. But for some reason, he couldn't overlook the haters in the comments or the haters on Twitter, even when they're being ratioed by
You know what? I'm going to do it now, too. I'm just going to let this shit grow out mountain man style, and no one can stop me.
his own fans.
I'm just here to see how long it takes him to whine about the racist patriarchy. To which someone else said, if you dislike his videos so much, why do you watch and comment on them instead of watching something you actually enjoy? To which he said in return, "'Cause I'm a dick."
Bro has been so pressed by the response of that video that he actually let it destroy his mental state over the last 2 years.
Yeah, I can't help but disagree with this video. This might be your worst yet.
He laughs because he knew that this video was going to be much worse. Everyone who has been on YouTube long enough knows that one bad video does not spell the end of a YouTube career unless you let it. The problem is that the softness is mixed with entitlement. In this video, he cries over and over again that it's so unfair that he isn't making as much money as he used to.
There was a month last year where I only made
See, babe, look at all these ladies that want their husbands to have big beards. Why can't I grow mine?
$500 in ad revenue. I can't live off that. The amount of times that I've almost had to stop making videos since then has been almost monthly. I've barely been able to keep this afloat. I've paid my rent late most months for the past year.
Now pay attention. This is where the stream goal is going to come in. Pay attention.
Why don't you get a job? If you're so hungry, why don't you get a job? Get a goddamn job, Al. You got a negative attitude.
And that it's so unfair that the video following The Hills Have Eyes only got 73,000 views. Early in this video, he talks about how he actually got his first big break from being shouted out in only his second video by the author of the children's book series Goosebumps.
Okay, so my second video that I ever made was that one on Goosebumps and 90s horror media for kids, if you remember. And John actually ran an article about the video on Bloody Disgusting, which got the attention of R.L. Stine, who then soon after tweeted about the video saying that he liked it, which led to me getting my first huge boost in subscribers that started my journey that led me to where I am right now.
So maybe he doesn't know this, but you actually typically have to make multiple videos before your first big break. Typically around 30 to 50 videos before you actually start to make it.
Yeah, that was about when my channel started taking off. I was probably 50 or so videos in. That's about accurate.
And so yes, when you get your first big break with only your second video, and you blow up in the middle of a global pandemic where everyone has loads of free time, you are obviously going to see a decline in views over time. But this mindset has left Zane extremely envious and resentful of anyone else's success. In the Wendigoon portion of this video, Zane can't seem to let go of the fact that Isaiah's parents used to be wealthy, even though Isaiah never got to experience any of that wealth before the money dried up.
Not to mention the fact that Windigoon was raised in a very wealthy
Do we have a viper in the house tonight?
family, and with that comes from a wealthy perspective. He himself has inadvertently admitted that his family at one point had millions of dollars. When he
Okay, so we got the gist of this, right? He's mad about Windigoon's success, definitely comes at it from a political slant, and at one point, I don't know if we're going to sit through all of this to get to it, he admits that some of his monthly checks from YouTube were $500, thus the stream goal. So we're going to get into the actual video that's not edited or Chrissy's response. So we're going to watch the actual video. So again, I ask you guys to please smash the like button, share it out, etc., etc. Streamlabs is down below if you want to kick some spite cash to the stream goal. Get that up there. How does a person get this way? Envy, jealousy, and inability to adapt or do new things. That's all it comes down to. It's just jealousy and envy. That's it. That's all it is. So yes, the liking, the sharing, etc., etc.
If you're not aware, Windigoon is a horror conspiracy
This is a re-upload, a straight re-upload.
theorist YouTuber with several million subscribers that, as you will hopefully come to see, should not be seen as
A conspiracy theorist YouTube. You might as well come out and say, "Oh, dude's he's a Nazi."
Today we're
Actually,
counting down our picks for the top 10 most infamous man-made disasters. Number 1.
The 19th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, the one that guaranteed women the right to vote, was ratified in 1920.
That's true. That is very true, actually. If Streamlabs would load, it'd be a lot better for everybody here. This is for my wife, who loves this donation, and my big beard. God damn it! Hit like, chat. Yes, chat should hit like. That's true. And also, the new donation at $8. That's a pretty good one, too. I think you guys will like that one.
wholesome, southern-friendly dad persona that he has publicly constructed around himself in the past several years. And that, like many people who talk about being Christians as much as he does, has a dark past with deep ties to far-right extremism.
Anyone who's a Christian has dark ties to extremism. Extremism!
On a base level, his work has never been of personal interest to me. We share a similar focus on topics that we like to write about, but our similarities basically end there. I have no need or desire to hear 5 hours of opinions on Blood Meridian from a 21-year-old millionaire who got famous around the age of 19.
I have no ties or opinions and no one to watch this. Could you imagine if these people held this belief to anybody who was religious across the board? What do you think it would take for him to say something like, you know, this person's a Muslim, so they have deep ties to extremism, or this person's Jewish, therefore, you know, they're probably extremist?
And I know that is probably the most boomer thing that I have ever said Apologies for that. But I say that to argue that I really do think that there are some works that are really not intended to hit the right way until we're...
I'm confused as to why it matters that Wendigoon is a millionaire. Because, I don't know, I don't think we're going to get to it, but this guy has complained verbatim that he only gets like $500 a month from YouTube. So he's upset that somebody else has money.
Older. There are some...
I bet he fucking loves Hasan, yeah.
works that fundamentally will not be understood by you if you are wealthy and have always been upper class your entire life. And this may all sound condescending, but that doesn't stop it from being somewhat true. I don't mean that to think that you shouldn't be able to say or publish whatever you like at any point in your life. You're obviously free to do so. And I also don't want it to be seen as if I'm talking down to young people, because I'm not. Politically, they are frequently the most with it, and their voices should be heard on issues that pertain to them. They are looked down upon too often in our culture. What I'm talking about here pertains to the very act of writing itself, and with that, perspective. And I don't know if you can actually really truly be a good cultural critic, with a voice that has a definitive perspective, without several years of genuine, independent, lived experience away from the home that you were raised in. And in
The fuck does that... I gotta hear that again. What does that even mean?
a good cultural critic, with a voice that has a definitive perspective, without several years of genuine, independent, lived experience away from the home that you were raised in.
So to have to have a perspective, you have to not live at home? I don't understand. What does that even mean?
And in his case, he became exceptionally wealthy by the time that he was 19 or 20. And so if you leave the home and immediately become famous and rich, without having to ever actually truly struggle, can you...
So good for him. That doesn't sound like... So it's, this guy was successful and you're mad about it? Whoa.
you be considered to have ever actually had...
Well, of course he's mad about it. Who am I kidding? Of course he's mad about it. Why wouldn't he be? He wasn't successful. So it is directly Wendigoon's fault that this guy sucks at everything he does. He's using a bunch of $10 words to say Windigoon is a basement dweller. I'm trying to think of a cheap way to work in the new $8 donation into that, but I can't do it right now.
Lived experience at all that would qualify you to give criticism on works of art about the experience of average and poor people. I would argue not.
So you need to be average and or poor people to be able to have any opinion on art? This is the dumbest shit I've ever heard. This does bring me back to 2016 YouTube. Jesus Christ, you're right.
And if that is the case, why would your perspective matter as a critic? Not to mention the fact that Windigoon was raised in a very wealthy family. And
oh, so his family was wealthy too, you know, until they weren't.
Don't
with
do
that,
yes, don't do that. That's true. So I'm not allowed to have an opinion since I live at home with my family due to medical reasons? No. Killer Turnus, no, you're not. Shut the hell up. Thank you for your $2, but shut up. Maybe people would also have wanted to watch his video about horror if he had left politics out of it. People don't watch YouTube horror videos for shitty political opinions. People don't watch any video that isn't political for political opinions. People don't watch fucking creepypastas for political opinions. People don't watch... Oop. People don't watch movie breakdowns for political opinions. It's, well, maybe some do. My lived experience, this guy, but yeah, absolutely. You need to be self-hating. Yes. I too hate being white. He also said that you can't be conservative and enjoy horror movies. This guy's a moron. Yeah, because conservative or horror movies are not for anybody who doesn't agree with his political opinion. Pretty much anybody to the right of Marx. Wormy Appreciator for 13. Schlorp, thank you.
comes from a wealthy perspective. He himself has inadvertently admitted that his family at one point had millions of dollars, when he said once on stream, Would you believe me that
Well, adjusted for inflation, it'd probably be hundreds of thousands.
when my dad was young, he used to be in an organized crime gang and is now a Sunday school teacher. Very wild life that guy's lived. He was in an organized crime gang that my grandfather ran. A lot of bad things went down. They got investigated by the FBI. My grandpa went to jail. My dad had to testify and tried to take up the business. The business fell apart, and he ended up losing millions of dollars to the state.
Oh, fuck. You know what? I might just play it right now because this is where the $8 donation would fit perfectly.
Lost business. The business fell apart, and he ended up losing millions of dollars to the state. Lost everything.
This guy sounds like Wendigoon rich and so are his parents. Wendigoon has money, his parents are rich. There, I did my Shadows impression.
Found God, became a Christian, and is now both the best man and the best Christian I've ever met. But
Uh-oh. So he had to pay millions of dollars to the state, found God. Be quiet! Damn it. Shut up! Be quiet! Shit, where is it?
Go tell the IRS to suck my fucking dick. I sent that payment out. Postman, that bitch, I had to take the paper out.
I love it so much. New dono appreciated for 8. Thank you very much. This guy is so salty, I'm surprised he isn't shriveled up and died. Me too, man. Me too.
also,
So, a little loud? Okay, I can adjust that. It's hard to tell even when I run the tests on the volume because I have everything equalized on my end, but that doesn't mean that that's what it is on the output. No, hold on. I'll turn it down to 40%. Hopefully that'll be a little better. Drunkle must see this. Drunkle must see the 2502, but that's turned off till tomorrow.
I'm not even here to criticize his body of work. I think his videos are very uninteresting.
Anyway, that's a new one. Go tell the IRS to suck my fucking dick. I love it. And new dono appreciator, stream boss, nicely done. Did I read out, yeah, okay, we're good.
But ultimately, that is secondary to what makes him worth talking about. The first of which are the very strong beliefs that he seems to hold as important, that are in my opinion the antithesis of what horror should be about. There are many things that are red flags that we could talk about, from the bizarre gun ownership, the flagrant use from
The bizarre gun owner. What would non-bizarre gun ownership look like?
From my perspective, of his religion as a shield from criticism, to the belief that he at one point followed many far-right accounts on Twitter from Kyle
Oh, far right, like Kyle Rittenhouse.
Rittenhouse to Parler, the social media website where the January 6th insurrection was in part planned. People said, oh, he only followed them. But that
He means all guns, so you're probably right.
doesn't mean that he agrees with them. But there are screenshots of tweets that may have been deleted. They clearly, in my mind, show a support to Rittenhouse. Although, since I did not take the
Most people, except for far-left nutters, showed support to Rittenhouse because it was undeniably self-defense. You can't chase people with a gun, threaten to kill them, try to take the gun, and expect them not to stand up for themselves. He's probably one of the idiots that still believes that it's a fucking bunch of black dudes that Rittenhouse killed.
these screenshots. They do have to be taken with a grain of salt. But in relation to everything else that we're going to talk about here, to me it seems to fall in line with his general beliefs. These have been widespread across the internet, and to my knowledge, I can find no examples of him directly saying that these are not real. So he may or may not have actually followed these accounts or supported them. But I do not believe that he has ever outright said that this did not happen, so take that as you will. We could talk about his past and supposedly being a founding member in an online conspiracy theory group that, according to him, snowballed out of control into being a white supremacist neo-Nazi organization called the Boogaloo Boys.
So he said it snowballed out of control and ducked out on it, so it's his fault. Okay.
His online username at the time was Boogaloo Boy, and he claims to be the
Boogaloo Boy. Man. That would be cool.
the first to have started using it, but that he left the group and became Wendigoon after things started to get out of hand. And this is not a conspiracy theory in
Yes, Windigoon did January 6th pass it on.
itself. Shockingly, he literally has said so in writing. As you'll see, he was just like, oh geez, sorry guys, about starting a violent hate group, guys. Sorry that people got killed. I totally didn't mean to do all that. My bad.
Who got
I'll do
killed?
better next time.
Who got killed?
Also, it should be noted that the Boogaloo boys are known for wearing Hawaiian shirts.
Man, okay, so I'm not allowed to grow a beard out. Fine, I'll keep it trim and looking good. But can I revert to just all Hawaiian shirts and like Tony Soprano shirts? Would that be okay? Am I allowed to do that, woman?
And guess who else always has on a Hawaiian shirt, despite the fact that he publicly totally does not share in their
Says the guy wearing a Hawaiian shirt, right? Look at this guy right now wearing a Hawaiian shirt. I'm just going to go all Hawaiian shirts and Tony Soprano shirts.
Go tell the IRS to suck my fucking dick. I sent that payment out. Postman, that bitch, I had to take the paper out. Go tell the
Dude, that's a fucking jam right there. I don't care who the IRS sends. I'm not paying cheap. This creeper what? This creeper stash cretin's home replacement. Hormone replacement. Spelling hard. Raffle sounds like a tinfoil hatter, then calls other people far-right conspirators. Fucking true that. Like a bowler shirt. I'm going all Hawaiian shirts. That's it from now on. Hawaiian shirts and Tony Soprano shirts. That's all I'm wearing.
beliefs, guys. I'm just saying that if at the very least I, in any way whatsoever...
I have a couple Hawaiian shirts so far. I'm going to go on Amazon right now. I might change the stream goal to my Hawaiian shirt fund. See, Shelly ain't listening anymore, so we can make these plans. Hawaiian shirt for dogs? Men. Oh, these some good-looking shirts. $20 a piece. I'm going to start going to Goodwill more. They're probably just as much in store. Bonus points for pineapples. Oh, this one's got gorillas on it. Oh, I like that one. Oh, that looks like a soprano and a Hawaiian shirt. This one's got a T-Rex and a fucking sombrero? Hell yeah. Oh, fuck. New wardrobe incoming.
somehow
Time to ditch the Dragon Ball t-shirts.
accidentally, inadvertently, started a hate group. I wouldn't continue to still dress like them if it were me. It would make me look like I still believed in their cause, and that I just couldn't talk about it because people would publicly get mad at me. If I accidentally started a hate terrorist organization, I wouldn't
Okay, so the stream goal is unofficially changed to Soy Boy's Missing Pay and Sin's Hawaiian Shirt Fund. Done. Where's my gavel? Fuck. No, there it is. Done.
brand as a horror YouTuber the next year, and instead would try and fight that ideology as much as I could. And if I didn't do that, then it would probably be fair for people to assume
I can't wait to tell my black boyfriend that he's now a white supremacist because of his Hawaiian shirt. Is that why you're called Miss Black Queen?
that I still agreed with their actions. At one point, he posted on his subreddit and wrote, "Someone asked me about my old Boogaloo boy persona, so I made my response and thought I'd share it to set the record straight. Again, I hate being political, but I wanted to clear this up. Love y'all, thanks." The statement that he included with this read, "Alright, so I'll go ahead and make my official statement here, because better to come straight from me. Over 2 years
Oh my god, add Eve be twins. Fucking yes. She probably wears like a men's large. There's some good looking shirts. Like blue isn't really my color. I rock like darker colors mostly. That's a nice one. I'm just gonna put all these in my Amazon cart. Floral is a good shout. I do like floral. Aliens, fuck it, why not? I think I'll pass on the rubber duckies. Definitely interested in that fucking gorilla one. Flamingos? Nah, probably no flamingos.
years ago. I was among the first to begin using the term Boogaloo. Originally, it was a rendition of Che Guevara's, not that he was a good person by any means, code word for revolution, and I have always been a proponent of freedom and liberty. I believe in the divine rights of every human.
Get the ducks? Another gorilla one? The one with just dog faces? Oh, fuck yeah. The pineapple. Hell yeah. Get that one.
And therefore, aspects of self.
Okay, I'll put the ducky one in my cart. I'll let Miss Sin decide the fate of that one.
Independence are important to me. So I began using the word in small settings, and then decided to make a meme page using the name as no one had yet done so. To give you an idea, my name—
Dude, my Amazon cart is about to be replete with Hawaiian shirts. This shit is about to be bomb, baby.
was Boogaloo Boy, and several have pointed to me as being the original and started the Hawaiian shirt thing, as I've always just worn those shirts. However, as the term became mainstream, more ideas began to come into the group. Everything from Antifa members to fascists wanted in on it, and the original idea became muddled and broken. I always meant it as a for the people thing, yet it quickly became—
Can we just all agree that most Hawaiian shirts look pretty good? Like, it's just a good, it looks good for guys to wear. Because men don't have much of an option. We get Hawaiian shirts, t-shirts, or like suits. Polos are out of fashion. You could do those Charlie Sheen fucking 2.5 Men button-ups, but those don't really look that good.
something else. To give you an idea, I watched the same news station call it a far leftist movement and a far right movement in the same day. It became something I didn't want to be a part of, and so I left.
I'm a fan of the Tony Soprano button-up shirt, so those usually look pretty good.
The name, took a break, and decided to talk about things I enjoyed, like conspiracy.
Have you seen the Pokemon Hawaiian shirts? I'm not a big Pokemon guy.
And movies, under the new title, Wendigoon. It was something I acknowledge, but am not a part of anymore for what it became. Some of my current followers and friends were with me then, but I'm not a part of that anymore. So, do you remember when armed men were arrested a few years ago for planning the kidnapping of Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmire?
You mean when the ones that were arrested where the ringleader was a homeless dude who lived in a vacuum repair shop basement, and like 6 of the 8 crew members, or like, was it 4 of the 8 or 5 of the 8 crew members were fucking federal agents? Yeah, I remember.
That was the Boogaloos. Do you remember when white people showed up at the George Floyd protests and caused property damage and violence in the hopes that black people would be blamed for that?
I mean, federal agents? I remember this as well.
That was the Boogaloos. A great deal of their members were spotted in the Capitol during the January 6th insurrection. In 2020, they killed several police officers in a drive-by shooting in Oakland, hoping that black people would be blamed for the violence.
That bullshit that happened. X to doubt. Nope. Don't buy it.
In an attempt to create racial tension. The reason they use the word Boogaloo is in reference to a meme that says Civil War II Electric Boogaloo, obviously in reference to the 1984.
Thank you for explaining what Boogaloo meant. We on the internet have no idea and have never heard these terms before. This is all brand new information to us. Where would we be without In Praise of Shadows to explain this to us while simultaneously complaining about shirts and someone else being popular?
Film, Break Into Electric Boogaloo. Okay, so let's take a closer look at some of the phrasing of his official statement. First off, I have tried and failed to find any connection to the word Boogaloo to Che Guevara. In fact, when you Google Che Guevara Boogaloo, you just get things related to Windigoon. When you type in Che Guevara word for revolution, you get things related to Windigoon.
I think that is tailored to you, my friend. I don't believe that is what actually just shows up that sounds nutty.
Che Guevara died in 1967, and the earliest example of the word Boogaloo that I can find was in 1966, in relation to the musical style. So I would wager that that is more than likely a lie, to cover his actual intentions and sympathies that he held as a...
Okay, even if it was, so what? He's making a joke about a fucking 40-year-old movie at this point? He's one of those people, no jokes allowed. No jokes allowed, my friend.
Seemingly radicalized teenager. According to the Center for Strategic and International Studies, the word Boogaloo began to appear in online forums related to hate content on 4chan somewhere between 2010 and 2012, when, Wendigoon would have been about 10 to 12 years old. Specifically, I have seen multiple times that it is believed to have been born on gun-related forums. I can find no evidence that within their organizational structure, that they have any allusion to their values starting or being connected to Che Guevara in any capacity. So claiming he was the first to start using it, or among the first, is not true, and is frankly a bizarre claim to make. By the time he would have made his Boogaloo Boy username, the word would have already had a near decade of being entrenched into the deepest layers of alt-right internet radicalized extreme racism. He wants to simultaneously be seen as distanced from the organization, but still dresses like them on a daily basis, and fully takes responsibility in claiming that he started their movement, that was already in motion at least 7 or so years before his involvement, which to me just kinda seems like he enjoys taking the credit for that. As historically, he already had an out that he was in middle school when it truly actually began. And if he's lying about these things, it just makes me wonder, what else is he lying about?
Everything. He's lying about everything. You are correct about everything you've said so far, and you should get more views and subscribers and then feel better about your life. Is that what you want to hear? Is that what you were looking for? Because I gave it to you. Are you done now?
And the difficulty in seeing the lies in between the things that are true is always the point with these kinds of people.
That is a damn good question, Luna. What is hate content? I would really enjoy knowing that as well. Like, I want to know what these people consider hate content. Because I think, probably, at the end of the day, hate content is whatever they decide it is. It's just stuff I don't like, stuff I think is problematic. That's probably what hate content is. Because if you remember, my old channel got clipped for hate content. And, of course, none of it was. That was tame, especially toward, like, the decline of it. It was very tame. But it's still considered hate.
Who say, for instance, that they do not believe in far-right hate, while doing something else at the same time, such as wearing a distinctly coded Hawaiian shirt that would be understood.
Coded. It's a coded shirt. He's fucking transmitting secret codes with his t-shirts.
Stood by the initiated. As Jared Thompson puts it, who works with the transnational threat.
But we are initiated, Mr. Wayne.
Project that focuses on the evolution of digital terrorist networks. Boogaloo memes and slang are often deployed in similar formats, and using similar language to more mainstream internet discourse, creating a challenge in parsing the difference between complex inside jokes and memes that are used as a tool of Boogaloo extremism. Then Windigo
Boogaloo extremism
would go on to say that the organization was corrupted by the left and the right equally, but I can find no evidence that the left ever tried to co-opt an organization that actively desires a race war within America.
Oh, guys, we're at about the halfway point. Please smash the like, share it out, do all that fun stuff YouTube likes, the necessary stuff that this channel needs with for growing, etc., etc. Oh, God damn it. And if you want to support the Streamlabs is listed down below. We are a little over 10% to goal.
Just on the surface, that makes no sense. And on top of this, people who are centrist, or on the left, do not use the phrasing Antifa members. The only people who say that are the ones that see Antifa as some sort of homogenous radical left-wing activist group.
Well, it is quite literally an organized and funded radical group that is leftist in nature. So I don't know what the fuck you're talking about there, Home Skillet, but that ain't it.
As opposed to a general term for anti-fascist movements. He is kind of telling on himself by saying Antifa members, as if they are a part of an organized political militia.
They literally are.
Like many alt-right groups are, such as the Boogaloos.
We are too, guys. They are, not us, guys. We're the good guys. Those guys they're the organized ones. Shut up.
And saying that there was harm and violence perpetrated on both sides is the kind of language that other fascists, like Trump, say to disorient people into not seeing far-right extremism for what it is. He makes the bizarre false claim that he invented the use of the word Boogaloo as a for-the-people kind of thing, and he doesn't believe in what that group did with his idealization of anti-government ideals. And also...
Now, is Windigoon right-wing-ish? Probably. He strikes me as... definitely libertarian-esque for sure. But is he a fascist? Abso-fucking-lutely not.
Wants it to be very clear that he is not a political person. But to my ears, this is all conservative doublespeak. And I hope that this is becoming obvious to you as well. In my opinion, there is a regular pattern of behavior there, from supporting Rittenhouse to having multiple ties to other far-right extremist figures, that I think a clear picture is painted that he does not mean this as a communist kind of thing, and seemingly more so means people as a very select group. Wendigoon is very publicly friends with Turkey Tom. They have been seen together on multiple
no, not Turkey Tom.
occasions, and I've seen
This guy must be a student of Joseph Smith in the history of political science, probably.
online mentions that Tom was either at his wedding or at the very least was invited. Tom has been accused of using the N-word multiple times in private conversations.
But did Windigoon say it?
Including these screenshots of texts that are alleged to be real. And he has also been accused of saying that the...
Was there a date on those?
Including these
2018.
screenshots of texts that are alleged to be real. And he has also been accused of saying that the upper tiers of his Patreon were intended for Jews with deep pockets.
That's called a joke.
Windigoon is publicly connected to the internet historian, and has even appeared in his videos.
Oh god, here we go again. Here we go.
The internet historian publicly said that his birthday was April 20th. It is not, and has only said that as a joke because that is Hitler's birthday.
What else is April 20th? Guys in the chat, can you tell me what else 420 might be? Oh man.
Windigoon is publicly friends with Donut Operator, and even retweeted a photograph of the two of them hugging. Donut Operator is a gun-crazed, very far-right YouTuber with 4 million subscribers, whose career consists of him reviewing footage of police officers shooting and killing people. He was once a cop himself.
I don't think that is what Donut Operator's entirety of content is.
Before he made more money making YouTube videos and retired. His content is very pro-state, pro-cop, pro-gun, and pro-death to people who don't share his beliefs.
I don't think his content is very pro-state. It's definitely kind of pro-cop, but...
propaganda. For example, one of his videos is titled, Predator Takes Shotgun to the Face, and features a picture of him smiling in the corner of the thumbnail next to an image of a terrified man about to be executed by cops, with the text that reads, head removal.
Hi everyone, Donut here. We got a couple of shootings for you today. The main shooting just warms my heart.
And you know, for someone who supposedly is so very anti-government, Windigoon seems very comfortable with a man who makes his living worshipping violence committed by the state. He's a...
As opposed to worshipping violence against the state? Like this guy does? Only when a right-winger's in office.
Man of no conviction, claiming to be very against the government and for the rights of the people, while at the same time giving a warm embrace to one of the biggest fascist bootlickers on the internet. And the only thing that one could reasonably gather from this picture of them hugging is that he too is a fascist bootlicker himself. He has collaborated with Nick Crowley, who constantly...
I think this guy made this video like 8 years too late. This should have been put out in 2016. And it accidentally got released in 2024. That's the only thing I could think of. because I really do feel like I'm reviewing a 2016 video again. This dude is a fucking wackadoo. I heard better takes come from Riley fucking Dennis.
He makes money through the most morbid and shameful true crime content of showcasing the last minutes of people before they are suddenly and unexpectedly killed. Crowley is similar to Wendigoon, in that on the surface they seem fairly edgy, but clean enough. But then you notice that he follows less than 200 people on Twitter, and among them are the same circle with names like Wendigoon, Plagued Moth, Turkey Tom, Mr. Ballin, and Donut Operator.
Oh, is Mr. Ballin now a right-wing nut job? I don't watch Mr. Ballin too much. His stuff is not really my forte. But is he now a right-wing conspiracy nut job?
Wendigoon has collaborated with Plagued Moth, a completely shameful content creator who reviewed snuff films on his Patreon before it was taken down, and has been accused of showing genuine gore content to minors on Discord, and whose main YouTube channel consists of him reviewing censored videos of horrible acts of real-life violence and death.
I'm noticing that he has not gone after one person who has a smaller sub count than him.
Publicly friends with Shoe on Head, who is a conservative masquerading as a leftist, who has built
Shoe on Head is a fucking attention whore, and she is going to be whatever she needs to be for money.
A career off of lazy anti-woke content, complaining about SJWs, who says stuff like, Karl Marx rising from the grave finding out his movement has been taken over by fat, ugly, mentally ill losers. He is friends with Brandon Buckingham, a gun YouTuber.
I love me some Brandon Buckingham. What's wrong with Mr. Ballin? Nothing. I mean, nothing wrong with him, just not my forte.
Who has been accused of threatening rape. He is friends with Oompaville, a gun-obsessed content creator.
No idea who Oompaville is.
That has taken advantage of Nikado Avocado's mental decline for
Nikocado, everybody who is at least tangentially aware of Nikocado knows that he is a character. Nikocado plays a character.
Fame and for money. And on top of that, has made content with
Brandon's accusation came from Sneeko? Oh, well, then it's super fucking serial.
The human trafficker, Andrew Tate.
I told you he's a broke bitch and mad that he's a broke bitch. Dude, bills have been bad, okay? You know, we've fucked up a few times. But I don't think I would ever come out here and be like, well, it's Windigoon's fault I was late on my rent. No, motherfucker, it's not Windigoon's fault.
He is friends with Mutahar, who argued against Andrew Tate being deplatformed from social media websites, and has recently showcased a great deal of transphobia.
I have done nothing but shit on Andrew Tate at every available opportunity. But I still don't think he should be deplatformed.
In his most recent video.
Oh, he went to get... Oh, this dude probably loves fucking Keffels.
He has publicly interacted in a friendly way with the account Rock Solid on multiple occasions, and with just a quick look at their profile, I saw them liking anti-trans posts and neo-Nazi content. He interacts positively.
Alright, what is neo-Nazi content? Is any of this here? Thousands of kids of India gang rapes? That's not neo-Nazi. Notice how you attacked his profile, but not the truth of his statement. That's true. Was Hitler autistic? He was just stimming? That's called a meme.
Profile. I saw them liking anti-trans posts and neo-Nazi content. He interacts.
I can smell the jealousy through my earbuds. Well, that should be more motivation to hit that Streamlabs down below. Hey, hey, hey. Man, these fucking chills are terrible tonight. I'm sorry. I'll do better. Fucking Dirt Merchant and Livy have been doing better in the chat.
Positively with Disclose.tv, a far-right propaganda website that uses hate speech, engages in Holocaust.
I see the difference, but I meant what I said.
Holocaust denialism, and platforms neo-Nazis. He has appeared in content with Mr. Gunzengear, whose Twitter bio reads, dedicated to restoring the civil rights of Americans. But despite...
Yes, banning guns, using guns to commit mass shooting leftists, that's good.
That, he's tweeted negatively about trans people many times. He has interacted positively with Garant Thumb, who has said, the traditional family should be encouraged and strengthened. I see little to no support from the government or big media. He is...
Why can it not be? What is wrong with a traditional family? Does every family need to be a black trans dad and a white other dad? Whatever they're doing.
Said anti-trans state.
Talk your shit. I'm not talking shit. I was being dead ass serious. And I can keep the beard. I just can't keep it long.
Statements. He has called people degenerates, and has said that non-traditional sexual interactions are a disgusting, hedonistic lifestyle that is the breakdown of the family unit.
And you know what? I can disagree with Grand Thumb on that, and that's fine.
Wendigoon is publicly friends with Brandon.
No! I'm going to go follow Grand Thumb right now. Grand Thumb. The hell's his name on Twitter? Hold on.
Her lifestyle that is.
It's Garand. This dude, listening to this idiot talk. It's Garand, not Grand.
Is the breakdown of the family unit. Wendigoon is publicly friends with Brandon Herrera, who has made jokes that implied that he was sympathetic with public shooters who killed leftists, and collaborated with Kyle Rittenhouse, who has posted images of himself with an MP40, which is a gun used by the Nazis, that he described as...
You mean a German gun? Does he realize that not everything that's German is Nazi?
The original ghetto blaster. I've also seen people insinuate...
Was that delivery meant to be fucking hilarious? Because it was. I gotta hear that again.
Who has posted images of himself with an MP40, which is a gun used by the Nazis, that he described as the original ghetto blaster.
Jesus Christ.
I've also seen people insinuate that Herrera was with Windigoon in the days of being part of the Boogaloo movement, but I cannot find substantial proof on if this is true or not. But I've seen several comments saying this, so online it is at least culturally believed to be true. He has appeared in gun-related content with Haley Luan, an influencer whose content is based entirely around making the United States military appear...
Smash. Absolute smash. Hard smash. Helps in getting AK so the bread tubers associate him with commies. If we can get there tonight, I will go buy one fucking tomorrow. We're about $600 short of that though, but stranger things have happened. If we can get that tonight, I will get an AKist tomorrow if the store has them. You know, the AK store.
Fun and bizarrely sexually appealing, which again, for someone who is supposedly anti-government, he sure does seem to have a lot of wealthy white friends who actively work to uphold the values of the American empire.
The values that America was founded on is not the same value shared by America today. I don't see anything about personal that shit is not the same values.
Or we could talk about the time that he stole art to use in promotional material for his videos, and then blamed it on his editorial team instead of just taking the responsibility.
So he didn't do it, his team did it. Got it.
And of course, there is his username. To the Algonquin people, the Windigo is a negative spiritual symbol that is to
Wendigos exist across many cultures, not just the Algonquins.
Be avoided, and whose name is to never even be said out loud or written down. So I know there's a bit of a hypocrisy there on my...
And do you know that Windigo and Wendigoon are two different things?
My part, but we kind of do have to say it for academic purposes, so apologies for that. Starting with Algernon Black...
I'm apologizing for saying the word Windigo.
Blackwood's horror short story called The Windigo. People have for hundreds of years taken the creature and used it for their own means, including Windigoon in his very name.
I have... Hold on, I'll take a picture of it right now and show you guys. Hold on. Hold on, let me send this to myself on the twits. I got the same motherfucking thing up on my wall right now. Oh, wrong button. Hold on. I got the same motherfucker up on my studio wall. Can I send it to myself? Hold on. Open a new tab. I got the same motherfucking thing. This is up on my wall right behind me. This thing's fucking cool. That's why I have it.
Which is something that indigenous people have been very critical with him now for years. This next thing that I'm trying to argue...
What's up, Moon?
is not to discredit his feelings regarding to his own personal history. But what I will say is that Americans who are white or partially white in rural areas love to claim a percentage of native heritage for bizarre conservative reasons, relating
What?
to, like, reverence for the land and fascistic nostalgia for a time that never existed and stuff like that. He has attempted to deflect from criticism over the use of
Wendigo? Wherever they want. Shut up.
the name by saying that his grandfather was Native American, and that he learned these things culturally through him. But I personally have to look at it from the hypothetical perspective, where, say I had a black or mixed grandfather in this situation, and black people were telling me that I was doing something that was racist or offensive to them. I would
Are you talking about Elizabeth Warren?
then listen to what they were saying instead of claiming that I had the right to do it because I had some melanin in me. Especially if I were more or less raised with
They love the word fascist but can never define it. This is a sad part of the reality we're in right now. The word fascist, the word racist, the word Nazi, all that stuff has lost all meaning. It means nothing anymore. Those words used to be an indicator that somebody was someone you would want to avoid contact with because they were not a good person. But now they mean literally nothing. It means absolutely nothing.
within a primarily white cultural area like the Appalachian Mountains are. And also on top of that, just, frequently associated myself with white supremacists. There are 26 million people in this region, and well over 80% of them are white, with the majority of the others being Latinos. And if I had no cultural connection around me to that non-white percentage of my history, then what really would give me the right to dictate whether or not what I was doing was appropriate? I really would have no ground to stand on. The other thing that I would add to this is that Windigoon and I
Listen to this scalding hot take. Oh boy. That's it. I'm making up new words. We should.
are practically neighbors, and I know this area very well. Okay, so I live in Asheville, North Carolina, and between that and the reservation, you have the community of Lake Junaluska, which isn't actually even a real town. You can walk across the whole thing in a matter of minutes. You got Waynesville, you have Maggie Valley, and a few other small drive-by communities. And beyond that is the Cherokee Reservation. Windigoon lives somewhere just on the other side of the reservation. That is not
So how does this guy know where Wendigoon lives?
me doxing him. He has said many times publicly that he lives in East Tennessee, and I'm not even saying what town he lives in. According to the latest census, there are only 23 black people who live in Maggie Valley.
Oh my God. This... Dude. This guy got so fucking mad about Windigoon that he looked up the census for where he lives. He looked up the census for where Windigoon lives. He goes, there's only 26 black people that live there. What the fuck? You counted how many black people live in a certain area so you could call somebody racist on the internet. Dude, you are so fucking gay. This is the gayest gay shit I have ever seen, and not the fun gay where they have parades. This is the gay. Oh my God. I need a gummy bear.
There are 15 Native Americans despite it touching the reservation. Most of this area used to be sundown towns. It is about as white as you could possibly get.
Oh, fuck, this man is in Asheville. Oh, shit, I don't have the right page open. Chat, smash the button if you... No, I can't read that. I'm not gonna, but... no, can't read that, Steve Dave, but thank you. This is Eminem Gay. Did you see Eminem's new song? That shit was pretty fucking good. I liked it.
Appalachia is very white country, and for the most part, is exceptionally racist. Genuinely in this part of the country, you
I've seen the chat for my fallen gummy bear.
have to assume that any white person you meet is racist unless they show you otherwise. Almost all of these little towns are well over 90% white, but
Yeah, it's yours to use as you see fit, not the fun gay where they have parades and shit that Gay.
If you were to drive through Maggie Valley,
He needs to grow up. No shit.
you would find antique stores selling busts of Native American braves, carved wooden eagles, vintage paintings of buffalo, super racist generalizations that idealize the idea.
Moon is eye-rolling at my fallen gummy bear. Guys, this is super serious. I only got one giant Gordon's Choice thing of gummy bears. It's only 3 pounds. This is a finite resource.
Of the noble, good kind of Native American. And then you'll drive onto the reservation, and it's just run down and poor as shit except for the casino. He has said that the Windigoon name came from his cultural connection to Native lore through his grandfather's side. But I can assure you that unless you were on the reservation itself, that actual Native culture has no aspect in the general lives of the people around here, other than the
Someone get this man a 5-pound bag. Look, I still have like 2.5 pounds left in this, okay? But one fallen soldier is too many.
Racist trinkets that depict them. And as I said a moment ago, the Windigo is Algonquin, who are nowhere close to the vicinity of the Cherokee, who are in the southern Appalachian.
Hold on. Open new tab. Cherokee Windigo. Cherokee Windigo. Mythological creature. Windigo. Cherokee people. Windigo's a creature. Cherokee. Appalachian. It's Appalachian folklore. Tawana, Cherokee, exploring the myths of the Windigo and more.
Appalachia region, and throughout the lower sections of Middle America. The Algonquin people are Canadian, and
they're in the walls. There's hot guys in my walls. There's studs everywhere. Fine.
a little bit Northern American. To insinuate that he can use the Windigo name by citing local cultural native customs is completely absurd to a person who lives in the same general vicinity as he does. It is obvious that he just thought Wendigos were cool, and has come up with some seemingly strange backstory lie that is easily proven to not be true, unless, his grandfather is Algonquin and just moved to Tennessee. But if that were the case...
Hold on a second.
I translated.
1 second. Hold on.
Sorry for that.
Okay, Alexa. Thank you, Alexa.
I don't know why he wouldn't just come out and say that by now. And the reason why he doesn't is because it isn't true. There's a lot of bizarre, religious-like mythologizing around his past that I particularly hate. Like it always being said that his interest in cryptids and horror began with oral folktales in Appalachia that are passed down and told to children. I assure you.
How much more of this guy's nutbaggery are we going to take? Well, we got like 15 minutes left and we're powering through it tonight, baby. As long as you guys smash a like button and share it out if you feel like hitting up that Streamlabs, that's listed down below too. Like that. We're powering through this shit, baby. Close it. Why is my phone going off? Who is texting me? Is he arguing that he can't be the right native because of where he lives? I live in MA, and I'm a descendant of the Cherokee. Last dollar I could spare. Well, fucking keep that shit, man. But yeah, no, word never travels, ever.
As someone who lives near him and has for most of my life, this is total bullshit. And is some weird, false, cultural, imaginative idealization of the American South that is not actually true to the real Appalachia. We aren't sitting around at night talking about the goddamn Mothman and shit. I even came from a poor family, and he didn't. When I was a kid...
There you have it, right there. Listen to that part again.
Goddamn Mothman and shit. I even came from a poor family, and he didn't.
I was poor, he's not. Therefore, fuck him. Sin, what have you done?
When I was a kid, I have seen people riding into towns on horseback. He admits to being raised by millionaires who got their money from crime. He just likes spooky stories, which is fine. So do I, obviously. but to come up with some weird folksy reason as to why he became a folklore YouTuber that somehow culminated with the destiny of local oral tradition is the kind of language that is used by members of a cult of personality.
I was poor, he wasn't, fucking give money here with the Streamlabs link. Nice one, Yikes Merchant, very good.
They might as well claim that he was born on a fucking mountaintop.
He does better work than me, so hashtag riot act. Damn right.
Nobody talks about it, but don't you think it is extremely weird and off-putting that all of his fans call him Dad? Isn't that really strange?
I have been a Windigo viewer for many a year now, and I don't think I have ever seen people calling him Dad. I might have missed it, but I am unfamiliar.
What follows is an exchange between two anonymous indigenous people about how they feel about him and his behaviors. I've been watching a YouTuber named Wendigoon for a long time, and I noticed that his username always made me feel weird. He often uses Windigo imagery in his merch, and made it a part of—
Dude, he won't even spell out Windigo. It's W35DIGO. With 35 to go.
his brand. He says that his grandfather is Cherokee, and taught him the legend, and I'm not going to make assumptions on if he is lying or not. But I feel really weird still.
It's anonymous as him. He's anonymous. Nick Diorio said if that guy is ever too power, he'd probably...
Don't do that.
That's true. He'd probably... Yeah, can't read that one out, but yeah, I agree. The only thing weird enough putting is this commie urchin. True that. And the fact that we're so close, yet so far from 10% to goal. Or 20%, sorry.
Feels really disrespectful to me to use that name. I'm not sure if I'm being a...
So I'm going to give you guys an anonymous source that I heard or saw on the internet.com that said Zane from In Praise of Shadows definitely has multiple minors in chains somewhere. I can't reveal the source, but trust me, bro, it's real. And he also is part of a slave trade overseas.
Baby about it, or if there's something wrong here. He has also said some shit about cultural appropriation that put up some serious red flags for me.
Cereal.
The Windigo comes from the Algonquin people. I don't think Cherokees come from that group. Plus he's presenting
Later, Livy.
the white people concept of a Windigo. You can call him out, but he has 3.5 million subs. His community will probably hunt you down before you ever get him to shut down. What follows is the comment that they were...
Notice how it... Oh, wow. Fucking Killer Turnus. I didn't even notice you had the $5 stream boss. Notice how it was... We need to shut him down.
Referring to about cultural appropriation, where a native person called out Windigoon for his use of their spiritual symbol, to which he said to them, I'm actually going to make a video on this in order to make a direct response, but for now, cultural appropriation is a good way to alienate one group of people from the other. Whenever...
That's kind of the point of why people do it.
Society makes advancements in art and literature, and then another society gatekeeps others from interacting with it. It makes the creators seem inhuman and odd. The easiest way to create prejudice is to convince others that a group of people should not be interacted with. I have spoken to several natives who love the concept, yet only those who have no value
My first time ever as stream boss, well, hopefully your reign is long.
in its existence say I shouldn't talk about it, inciting an indoctrinated superiority. Furthermore, when we stop talking about cultures, they die. This is especially applicable to Native Americans, who use spoken word to pass down their stories, and if we do not continue to speak their stories, their culture dies before we do. Lastly, I was raised in Appalachia, and my entire life has been filled with stories of the mountains, and creatures that lurk in the dark. My culture is as American as any, and I recognize the importance in keeping the fire alive. I in no way mean this to attack, or to be direct, just a simple reply. If we develop the idea that we can't speak of certain people, then we're no better than those who silence them. He's basically using the I have a few black friends excuse to tell
What? John, listen, man. You're my out for everything from here on out, okay?
indigenous people to fuck off and to not bother him, so that he can continue without criticism to make a lot of money by selling plushies of a monster that was invented by a white British man that is ultimately making fun of their culture. as well
It's making fun of their culture? How?
as plastic figurines, posters, shirts, and other merchandise that depicts Wendigos.
Don't do that, I Rsist suck my fucking dick. I sent that payment out. Postman, that bitch, I had to take the paper out. Don't talk that.
Mine if the money hits the right amount of damage. It certainly did. 35,000 HP. Nice one, M4. Thank you very much, sir.
He realizes the irony of being a rich and famous person taking a symbolic figure from a smaller native group of people that he is not connected to in any way, that is at least in part to them
This motherfucker's sweaty.
originally used as a metaphor for colonialism. The reason that this comment is publicly
Colonialism. That's still bloody loud. I'll have to re-edit it later.
still available is because Windigoon archived it by posting a screenshot of it early in his channel's life to his Reddit page, as a clarification of his official position on why he should be able to use the name, saying, "Hey everyone, so I hate getting political, but this keeps coming up. I'm showing this comment reply now, so my opinions can be made known going forward. I've also blocked out the original commenter, and please do not show hate if you see it on the video. Also, I'm at 50k. I love you all so much. Also, I have received comments from natives who advise me not to use the term Windigo, as it is a bad omen and is dangerous. That is entirely different from not talking about a group of people altogether. They genuinely believe the legend and want me to be safe. They're cool. Thumbs up emoji." It has become a more common thing for people to call him out on his beliefs, his behaviors, and at the continued use of the Windigo in his name and the merchandise that he makes a lot of money off of. It became so much of a conversation that he even put out a statement trying to shut this down, saying, "Some rude and slanderous things have been said about my character, and I just want to clarify that I am not right-wing or bigoted or anything."
I'm the missile guidance system, and I'm here to fuck shit up. You can have some freedom too. Hold this fucking missile flying at Mach Jesus. I'm the missile guy.
Give me that stream, boss boy. And you're about $20 short. Well, 26 actually. But A for effort, Dirt Merchant. You were close.
It's thankful for my opportunity to make goofy YouTube. The only thing I believe in is loving God and my wife. Donut Operator. You know, the ex-cop who makes death content. The Wendigoon shared a picture of the two of them hugging not long after this. Can be found in the comments of this post asking if Wendigoon wants him to start killing people who said that he was right.
Yeah, it's not reality. This is a joke. It's not.
Don't talk that I Rsist suck my fucking dick. I sent that payment out. Postman, that bitch, I had to take the paper out. Don't talk that.
M4 Sherman said it's mine. It is yours. That's true. It is yours. Check this man's hard drives.
I think that this is an all-time bad public statement that says absolutely nothing substantial. And that's the point. I quote tweeted this and said, "Not that I have a stake in this whatsoever, but this is such a non-statement that doesn't even address any of the issues that folks are criticizing him for. Someone using their religion as a shield in the same breath as claiming that they believe in nothing politically is a red flag. Oh, I'm just a goofy, wholesome boy. Please don't ask me why I follow less than 500 people and one of them was Kyle Rittenhouse. Don't ask me about all the guns that I post pictures of. I promise
He showed his half ratio.
I have no strong beliefs. Apolitical, really. Why are you slandering me? I really only care about this because if you have that large of a platform and make your money from being a public persona, then you are no longer fully..."
Yes, he seems like the male version of Foodie who is a jealous, whiny brat and hates other people's success. Yes.
"A private person, and your political beliefs do in fact matter and are a fair topic of debate. You can't get mad if people call you unquestionable things that are said or done if you are making money off of them."
Keep that in mind. Zach says, "Zach Cena, are you sure about that?" Apparently he was. Apparently he was very sure. Zach, 8-10. You were goddamn close. You were very goddamn close. Oh, that's fucking horrible. It's so close. Oh, no, there it is. It came through. 159,000 HP. How the fuck? God damn, dude.
And what resulted from some good faith criticism of his use of language was days upon days of people...
Hold on. What? Oh, Oh, it's gonna...
From some good faith criticism of his use of language.
Just gonna... Just stash that one for later use. That's really good. Yeah, I need that. That one's going in the archive. I'll give you guys a second to grab it too.
Was days upon days of people calling me a faggot, amongst other things, but that was their go-to word.
Hey, God, I just...
And to be honest, if you're a public figure who is being criticized publicly, and the only people who come to your defense are Nazis, then that can only be read as two ways. Either that you're sympathetic to their views, or that you're perfectly fine making money from them, and are comfortable with that ideology being the backbone of your base. And this did go on for like at least a week, where every single time—
It's just, I got it for a week, guys. You don't understand. I got it for a whole week.
Time I said anything, my mentions were just filled with the most vile far-right rhetoric from Wendigoon fans.
I'm happy this happened to you. This genuinely makes my day a little bit better, knowing that this is something that had to happen to you.
And if anyone ever criticized me, and people's reaction to it was to immediately start using hate speech, I would shut that shit down so fast.
Do you want to bet that he most certainly would not shut that shit down so fast?
I think that most decent people who work online would do the exact same. And if they don't want to be seen as a big group of Nazis, then let's see how they react to this video's existence, because I am certain they will be very level-headed about all of this.
Dude, you ended up taking this down because your own fans said this was fucking retarded.
Right in the midst of this going on, a very funny thing happened, and that Windigoon followed me on Twitter. I was not following him at the time. He never publicly told people to stop calling me a faggot. He never once—
Oh, why? I wouldn't either. Fuck you. Polyword.
Reached out to me privately, but he did follow me, which means in my eyes that he 100% knew what was happening.
Death is prefer— That's gotta be a dono hit too. Hold on. That's gotta be a dono. I gotta make that one a dono. Oh, please. Gotta just jot that down on the side here. Boop. Boop. Boop.
Death is a preferable alternative to communism.
Without that terrible background noise.
Wake up, citizen. Do not fall for the communist psyop. Better dead than red.
Oh, that's the dono right there.
Because I did tweet about it several times, and then followed me to let me know that he knew, and that he was watching, and that he intended to do nothing to stop it. Why else would he follow me in that exact moment? He has never interacted with a single one of my posts. Not one like, not one comment. We are not friends. But he does follow me. He follows next to nobody on Twitter. What are the motivations?
Engaging Chinese invader. Death is a preferable alternative to communism.
Yep, that's it right there.
Could he have had there to follow me in that specific moment, other than to be a method of quiet and deniable intimidation? What other way could that have been read from my perspective? If you think it was entirely coincidental, which he may argue it was.
Which one, A or B? B being just that death is preferable, or A being the fucking jam?
Wake up, citizen. Do not fall for the communist psyop. Better dead than red.
Oh, here, let me show you this one, actually. This is A.
Wake up, citizen. Do not fall for the communist psyop. Better dead than red.
Yeah, Yeah. Yes, I agree. Strong A. A is a banger. Yeah. Yeah. I gotta agree with that one. That's a banger for sure.
Then I've got a sack of magic beans I'd like to sell to you. That was the moment that pushed me over the edge to make this video. There are other very public instances.
I'm gonna make that a fucking... I'm making that right the fuck now. Hold on. We're making this together. What should it be set at? It's 12 minutes, so it's gotta be... Or 12 seconds, so... It's gotta be over 20. Liberty Prime for the win. Liberty Prime always for the win, my dude. When does Liberty Prime ever not win? That's the question. Oh, that's gonna put the fucking link in there. It can't be 1776 or anything like that, because that's taken. A follow on Twitter pushed him over the... Yeah, he done fucking lost his goddamn mind over a Twitter follow. He followed me on Twitter, but he didn't tell people to stop calling me a polyword. Okay, yeah, I can rock out with the 1991. Yep, can do on that one. Hold on. I mean, what the fuck do you mean? Just download the goddamn video, you scumbag. Oh, the wait. Okay, 1991. I'm making it right now. You think I'm not? Alert box open. 34. I think 1991. Okay, I want it to get hit. Yeah, stuff up that high. Like, they're better than red, is what we'll call it. Add randomly exactly 19.91. No default sound. Add a default upload. What is it, 93 or 91? I'm inclined to go with 91. No. I think it is 91. Did the USSR fall? 91. Okay, 91. Boop. Boop. 11 seconds. That should cut a little bit of the horse shit out. 11. Okay. Turn the volume down a little bit on that one. We'll set it to 40. Save. Okay. It is now officially in there. I'm editing the description right now. Added. Done. It's in, baby.
From him of transphobia and homophobia. Like when he allegedly said, calling Christian, a man who mutilated his body with a box cutter because 4chan said he was a girl, holds a deep hatred for men and most women, decided to be a girl so that he could hook up with lesbians, and now abused his mom. She is disrespectful to and delegitimizes trans people.
Is it wrong? Is that wrong?
Like he, a very publicly straight married Christian cis man, somehow is the authority on what legitimizes a trans person's identity. He has tried to cover this up and has denied that it happened, but I think there's enough evidence to say that it most likely did. One user said at one point, he's been constantly misgendering her on Twitter despite being corrected numerous times, to which Wendigoon said, show me one time I misgendered her on Twitter. Actually, please don't watch my content if you're going through my replies and monitoring followers, who may just be unaware of Christian's entire lore. Perhaps people just not knowing something doesn't mean that they're a transphobe. But if we...
Wake up, citizen. Do not fall for the communist psyop. Better death than red.
That's so fucking good. It's so good. Oh, nice one. Better dead tube than bread tube. Nice. Nicely done.
Go back and look at...
Brought us right to 30% to goal too. Fantastic. We've got like 5 minutes left in this video though, so hit that shit up.
Old screenshots from this time. You can see that this account is quote tweeting
Polly is gonna love that one.
Wendigoon's transphobic tweet, but if you go to that account today, that post is now quote tweeting a deleted tweet, which to me shows that more than likely Windigoon went
Second favorite donut, what's your first, Opals?
Off with his transphobia, and then deleted the tweet sometime afterwards, when he realized that people would be mad about it. But there's a very small chance that this is not true because I did not take the original screenshot, so make of that what you will. We could talk about the time that Nick Spheres did a video about the disturbing movie Iceberg, who is a great horror trans creator, and I really hope that she's not mad at me for mentioning her here, because I think she's very cool and you should definitely go read her books. But Wendigoon famously did a very popular video on that particular iceberg challenge as well. And
Wendigoon deleted his tweet, you deleted your video. Ow!
In the comments of her video, he said, "We will be watching your career with great interest." Which
Wake up, citizen. Do not fall for the communist psyop. Better death than red.
This guy is so retarded, it hurts. Fucking A, it does, Poltergeisha. Thank you, beautiful. Much appreciated.
is just kind of gross, because in a way it is similar to him following me.
Oh, yeah, the Hank Hill, yeah.
Him telling her that he sees that she's doing similar content to him, and his presence in the comments is undercutting her video.
So he makes a Star Wars meme, we will be watching your career with great interest. And he's like, it hurts her channel.
While he also at the same time seemingly makes it look like he supports trans people. Like in the responses to his comment, people are saying things like, Windigoon says trans rights, while meanwhile he's simultaneously tweeting about Christian multiple times. We could talk about another time, where someone made a YouTuber gay sex alignment chart and put Windigoon as a sub-bottom, to which he responded to them and said, "What did I do to hurt you?"
This is called a joke.
Which, you know, clearly is a joke, but also the worst kinds of straight guys when they make jokes related to queerness, almost exclusively direct the punchline at femme gays and bottoms. Because
he didn't make himself a bottom. The dude who made the chart made him a bottom.
Because they view them as lesser than masculine tops.
He didn't do that.
He has multiple times said that
You're making me go false out, go chuckle.
supports queer people, but I think his actions in private clearly paint a different picture. He once tweeted, saying, "I do not care if someone is gay or straight. Sexuality is no one's business but the individual. Don't make assumptions. I make an effort to stay away from politics and social issues."
And he has done that rather successfully.
Which, you know, first off, equating sexuality with politics kind of already shows what you kind of think of.
You are making sexuality about politics, not him.
The issue. And second off, clearly, as we have seen, everything that he does has deep political motivations. And to argue that he's just a horror YouTuber is comical. Far-right figures are often the only ones who hide their harm under a
I think Zane is bottom phobic. I think he's just worried about him people encroaching on his territory.
false shield of wanting to seem like they have no strong beliefs at all, because their real views are so socially abhorrent. And the thing that people kept saying to me in all of this was, why do you even care? Which,
that's a good question.
If you watch the comments under the video, I guarantee you will happen again, with takes like, oh, he's just a YouTuber. Why does it matter? Or, so what if he's a conservative? Is that a problem? Which, the answer to that is yes.
Why? Why?
But the reason that I care is because this does not belong in horror, or anywhere. I care deeply about horror, and everything that he does has demonstrated so far in his career that he should not be welcomed in our spaces.
Ours. The dude has like 10 times as many subs as you do. Most horror YouTubers are far more successful, at least ones that are on the map, I should say, are far more successful than you. They get way better views than you get, but that is somehow considered your space as well. I don't think that's quite how that works. Like, is it our space if you're a small fish in the big pond?
Or even, you know, just in public in general. I think that these things clearly showcase a repeated pattern, in my opinion, of racism and homophobia, while on top of that, being very irresponsible and dangerous with his large platform. Like, I think that anyone who supposedly accidentally starts a neo-Nazi hate group and fully acknowledges that they did that should not be accepted within society at all. They should not be celebrated. They should be treated...
Should be banned from society. It'd be like not wearing a mask in 2020. Banned!
For what they are. Because remember, kids, when somebody shows you who they are, believe them.
Well, I believe I know everything I need to know about Zane. Why he's got white in his last name? How many black people live in his city, huh? How many fucking non-whites live by Mr. Zane White? Mr. Zane White guy. Oh man, Mr. Zane White guy must be he must be in the hood. Fucking white. Jesus Christ. This is hardcore self-reporting. Now, what I'm going to do is watch the Deadwing Dork video tonight or tomorrow on this. I got so much shit I have to do. That is it. Take a breath. We are done. Guys, thank you for coming and hanging out. Thank you for the incredible show this evening. All the new donations, or all the donations and the 2 new ones. I just want to hear it one more time before we get the fuck out of here. Well, both of them, actually.
Go tell the IRS to suck my fucking dick. I sent that payment out. Postman, that bitch, I had to take the paper out. Go tell the
That's a little bit of a fucking banger. That's a banger right there. And then one more.
Wake up, citizen. Do not fall for the commie psyop. Better dead than red.
All right, that's it. We're done. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Apparently, Foodie went on a fucking rampage of a rager tonight, so we'll be covering that at hopefully a little earlier than 3 o'clock tomorrow. Later, y'all.